Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Terraceum. The students, staff, and parents of Mountlake Terrace High School are proud to welcome you to today's Mountlake Terrace Holiday Tournament game between the West Seattle Wildcats and the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. This game is being played according to the rules of the WIAA. These rules provide for fair competition among players. Spectators can also help promote sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. And now here are the starting lineups for today's game. For West Seattle, a 6'1" junior, number 1, Nate Pryor. For Mountlake Terrace, a 5'8" junior, number 15, Joey Gardner. For West Seattle, a 5'11" junior, number 3, Tyler Lindsay. For Mountlake Terrace, a 6'3" sophomore, number 23, Kyrie Armstead. For West Seattle, a 6'2" senior, number 4, Shaka Trahan. For Mountlake Terrace, a 6'3" senior, number 25, Gabe Altenberger. For West Seattle, a 6'2" senior, number 24, Carter Golgart. And for Mountlake Terrace, a 6'3" senior, number 35, Derek Anima. And for West Seattle, a 6'1" junior, number 32, Achille Kissem. And for Mountlake Terrace, a 6'3" junior, number 43, Carson Dallas. The head coach for West Seattle is Kefri Fazio. The head coach for Mountlake Terrace is Nayland Sood. The officials are Steve Latimer, Chuckarilli, and Ira Big Daddy Dunbar. We took care of the Pledge of Allegiance earlier today, so we are ready for basketball.
Here we go.
And welcome to the Sound Live Sports Network. We are live at the Terraceum in Mountlake Terrace. It is the Mountlake Terrace Hawks with a 5-2 record versus the West Seattle Wildcats with a record of 8 wins and 0 losses. One of the top-ranked teams in the state. One of the top players in the state, Nate Pryor, number 1. He's a junior guard. He's already committed to Seattle University after his senior year. Dishes off the ball. Carter Golgart misses the open shot. Misses it. Derek Anima for the Hawks with the rebound.
Anima.
Joey Gardner bringing it up for Mountlake Terrace. Assuming you may or may not have heard the starting lineup earlier, as Carson Dallas misses the open look down below. Nate Pryor with the ball on the other end. West Seattle wearing the road yellow uniforms today. Mountlake Terrace home whites. There's Nate Pryor looking down low for his teammate.
Possession Terrace.
Number 32, Achille Kissim. Not able to bring that one in. It touches off of a Wildcat player. Mountlake Terrace basketball. 45 seconds into this game. No score so far between the Hawks and the Wildcats. Joey Gardner bringing it up. Dishes it to Gabe Altenberger. Gabe kicking it over to Dallas. Dallas for a 12-foot look. Threw it just a little too hard off the backboard. Didn't catch any rim either. It comes off into the hands of a Wildcat. We're now more than 1 minute into this game. No score so far. It's Carter Golgart with the ball. Over to Achille Kissim, the 6'1" junior. Golgart with the ball again. He's a 6'2" senior. That's Shaka Trahan. Golgart looking to drive to the right. Underhand layup. Gets it to go. Count the bucket. And he draws the foul.
Golgart, 2 points.
Going to call the foul on 25,
Shooting the
Altenberg.
bonus.
His first team foul in the game. 6:33 to go, first quarter of play. This is game 2 of the day. The Mount Lake Terrace Holiday Tournament as Golgart misses the bonus shot. Hawks still looking for their first points. Waiting to see if Mount Lake Terrace may or may not be a little rusty. Their first game since the holiday break. They were supposed to play Canyon Springs, a team out of Las Vegas, yesterday in this tournament. Canyon Springs pulled out of the tournament at the last moment. Hand check there. West Seattle called for the foul. Meanwhile, West Seattle defeating Marysville Pilchuck here last night.
West Seattle foul. Shaka Trahan.
Shaka Trahan called with that foul. Nice lob pass. Altenberger finding Anima. Anima not able to finish, though. We're now more than 2 minutes into this game. 5:58 showing on the clock. Still a 2-0 ball game. Nate Pryor setting up on top. Kicks it over to Tyler Lindsay. Lindsay, number 3, hit 4 3-pointers in the third quarter yesterday in that win over Marysville Pilchuck. Pryor sliding along the ground. Ball goes out of bounds. He was not able to
West Seattle
bring it in. Turns it over to the Hawks.
Terrace ball.
I mentioned there was a game earlier today in which Battleground defeated Linwood 62-44. Linwood's second loss in as many days. They also lost to Snohomish by 4 yesterday. The game was on Sound Live Sports Network earlier, and a third game will be played tonight at 5 p.m. between Edmonds Woodway and Snohomish in the winner's bracket from yesterday. And that game will also be on the Sound Live Sports Network. Joey Gardner looking to drive baseline along the left. Kicks it out to Anima. Anima has it bounce off his leg, finally brings it back in, loses control of the basketball. Grabbed by the Wildcats, and here they come. Pryor along the right wing. Throws it back to Golgart, back to Pryor. Apparently we're not going to have a shootout as of right now. We're now more than 3 minutes into this game. Still 2-0, West Seattle in the lead. Nate Pryor, who was shut out in the first quarter yesterday. Nice job by Kyrie Armstead. He gets the block, looks to go coast to coast, lays it up and in.
Armstead, steal and 2 points.
Armstrong, the 6'3" sophomore, doing a great job of getting that steal. Momentum was already going towards the other end. He just kept it running. Got the layup, gets the Hawks on the board at 2-2 with 4:29 to go here in the first quarter. Trahan being guarded by Joey Gardner. Here's a matchup, Armstead versus Pryor. Pryor leans it in, takes a shot, and they're going to call a charge on Pryor. Nice job by Joey Gardner to stand his ground. Armstead also catching part of that basketball.
Fouls on West
team
Seattle's
foul on
Nate
the Wildcats.
Pryor.
The first one on Pryor.
His first.
As number 41, Shimron Mussey checks into the game for the Hawks.
Mussey
Also checking in,
for Mount
Yusef
Lake
Muhammad
Terrace.
for West Seattle.
Yusef Muhammad in the
comes
game
off the
for
bench,
West
but as
Seattle.
of 6 games into the season, which is when their point totals were last added up on Max Prep Sports, he was their 4th leading scorer for the season, so he's certainly somebody they have to worry about. For that matter, Mussey also one of the top scorers for the Hawks. Altenberger kicks it over to Armstead. Terrace setting it up, being very patient right now. Garner being guarded by Lindsay. Armstead for 3, gets fouled on the play. Does it count? Count the basket, I believe. We're still waiting for the signal. They did put it on the board. Armstead with a 3, and he draws the foul.
Second foul on West Seattle.
Not
to
only
Nate Pryor.
does he draw the foul,
Kyrie
he draws it on
Armstead
Nate
at the
Pryor, the
line
star
for the
guard for the
4-point
Wildcats. He now
conversion.
has 2 fouls here in the first quarter. And this trip to the free throw line is being brought to you by our friends over at Edmonds Community College.
Daniel Johnson.
Daniel
enters
Johnson
the game
checks in for the
Terrace.
Hawks. Altenberger is out right now. Armstead looking for a 4-point play, also looking for a 4-point lead. 3:47 to go here in the first quarter. He hits it. Kyrie with all 6 of the Hawks' points here early on. Pryor with the 2 fouls is still in the ball game. Keep an eye on what Coach Fazio wants to do with him. Muhammad looking at a 3. He can shoot, too. Shaka Trahan with a long 3. He connects with one.
Trahan, 3.
Trahan, not somebody who has a ton of three-point shooting on the year, gets one right there. Might have been 3 or 4 feet behind the line. That was NBA range. 6-5 score right now. Hawks holding on to a slim lead over West Seattle here. First quarter action. Armstead feeling it now. He puts up a long shot on the left wing, misses it. Carter Goldgart coming down with it. Here comes Trahan looking to push. Gardner doing a nice job of defense. Trahan pulls out and throws it over to Pryor. Pryor drives to the left. Doesn't get the basket to fall, but does draw the foul. Going to call that foul on Armstead, his first. It is a shooting foul, so it sends Pryor to the line for 2.
Seattle.
Pryor taking his time, finally fires it up and misses. Pryor through the first 6 games of the season was 65% from the free throw line. Gabe Altenberg checks back in for Kyrie Armstead. This is a West Seattle team that was only shooting 63% from the free throw line as a team after the first 6 games. Certainly not a lot of weaknesses when you start off your season 8-0, but if you do have one, I guess it would be, I'm sure that Coach Fazio and his staff would like to see a little better production from the free throw line, if you will.
Enters for West Seattle.
And now West Seattle looking to put on a press for the first time today. Hawks doing a nice job of breaking that. Altenberger with the ball. Mussey, Gardner, Johnson, and Anima also in the lineup right now. Joey Gardner out on top looking to pick up a screen from Mussey. Fires it from 13 feet. Rolls just off of the rim. Looked like it had a shot for a moment. Falls off. West Seattle with a chance to take the lead right now with 2:27 to go here in the first quarter. And West Seattle did finally sub Nate Pryor out of the game. Pryor, who's averaging over 17 points per game this season. That's Carter Goldgart. Goldgart falling to the ground, tried to scoop one up underhanded, couldn't get it to fall. Trying to get some contact, referee's not having it. Daniel Johnson from 17 feet on the wing, he gets it to fall. Daniel Johnson with his first 2 of the ball game puts the Hawks back in the lead 8-6. So we are now under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Kyrie Armstead looking to check back in already. Shaka Trahan picks up a screen as Joey Gardner tries to fight his way through it. Derek Anima now guarding Goldgart up on top. Muhammad with the 3, rims off. Everybody trying to grab it, finally comes into the hands of Anima. Anima pushes forward. He's going to try to go baseline to baseline, floats one up, and it gets it to fall. Derek Anima with his first points of the game. Anima averaging 15 points for the season. He is the Hawks' leading scorer. Anima with a 20-point game. He's had 2 20-point games this year thus far. Once against Monroe, once against Arlington. 10-6 score. Nice job as Goldgart finds Muhammad down low. He lays it up and in.
Muhammad.
His first points of the game. 10-8 now. Hawks with a 2-point lead. Gabe Powder now at the scorer's table looking to check in for the first time tonight. So he and Armstead will both be checking in at the same time. Joey Gardner floats one down low. Anima catches it. Gets a couple defenders up in the air. Tries to bring it back in. Loses it momentarily. Kicks it out. Gardner for 3. Off the back iron. Into the hands of Lindsay. Wildcat basketball. 37 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We have a 4-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Let's see if West Seattle wants to bleed the clock down for a late shot here or if they're going to try to rush something. It's not going to matter either way. They're going to get called for an offensive foul. Illegal screen.
Gabe Gagnon enters for West Seattle.
It's number 20, Gabe Gagnon checks back in
Powder
for West Seattle.
For Terrace.
Foul apparently was called on Abdullahi Muhammad. Number 5, that's his first foul. 4th team foul on the Wildcats. Hawks with 23.8 seconds to go here in the quarter. Gabe Powder, who's in for the first time today, passes it to Armstead. Hawks are looking for a last-second shot here to end the quarter. 1-2-2 zone action for West Seattle. Powder tries to dribble past it, kicks it over to Armstead for 3. Misses the shot. Goldgard pulls it down. 1 second to go. And the shot is fired over the backboard, and we've come to the end of the first quarter. Defensive affair so far. It favors the Hawks 10-8. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. 10-8 Hawks lead going into the second quarter over the undefeated West Seattle Wildcats. We've got a special guest we'll introduce here in just a moment once we get to another break in the action. Matter of fact, we might even avoid our next commercial break if we can to talk to him. Is Greg Bowman, the former Mountain Lake Terrace Hawks standout who now plays for the University of Washington, is going to be joining us. Gabe Powder with the basketball. Powder dishes off to Armstead over to the corner for Mussey. Mussey for the long two. Misses it. Coming down with it is number 5. That's Abdulhali Muhammad. Shaka Trahan looking to get something going. Being guarded very closely by Gabe Powder. Nice job by Powder on the play. Back to Yusuf Muhammad. Yusuf can shoot that 3 ball, so keep an eye on him. Pass down low. Trahan puts it off the backboard. Can't get it to fall. Scramble for it. Kyrie Armstead coming away with it. And here come the Hawks. Gabe Powder over to Daniel Johnson. Back to Powder. Looks for Armstead. Armstead for Altenberger in the corner. Misses the 3 off the back iron. Mussey gets the board. Armstead's going to take another 3. Gets back iron once again. Just hitting those early. Now we're not. And Greg Bowman, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Doing good. Good to have you here.
Good.
So you're on a little break right now? The Huskies taking some time off? When's your next game?
We play Friday. We start conference play against UCLA.
Okay. And then not the way you wanted to go into conference play with the UCSB game the other night, I suppose.
Yeah, that was a tough one to drop like that, especially since it's a team that we really should beat.
Yep.
But, I mean, we just got to move on and get ready for UCLA on Friday.
Sure. Spirit's pretty high right now. You guys feeling like, for the most part, it's a young team this year. You feeling like you're getting what you wanted out of the preseason, maybe minus that game and 1 or 2 others?
I think so, yeah. Like you said, we have a young team, so there are going to be a lot of up and downs early on. Guys don't really know how to respond to adversity as much as a veteran like Andrew Andrews might.
Sure.
But
so sometimes those losses might be a good thing if you can think of it that way.
Yeah, for sure. But like I said, we just got to learn from that and improve upon what we didn't do well in the last game and take that into Friday against UCLA and hopefully get a win.
Oh, definitely. Oh, and we're going to get a foul called against West Seattle there. That was number 22, Yusuf Muhammad. Now, you've been where? You've been to China already? You guys played Texas over there, right? And then you played in the Bahamas?
Yep, played the Bahamas and Texas.
Boy, college basketball's changing a little bit. I don't think many players can claim they've played in the Bahamas and China all in one season, let alone, about a week apart?
Yeah, it was incredible. China was a great cultural experience, and the Bahamas was more like, honestly, like a vacation. Because when we weren't playing or practicing, they give us some time to go to the beach or hang out by the pool and just chill.
Now, remind me, I'm trying to think, did I watch you guys play while I was eating my Thanksgiving dinner? Is that you guys playing their Thanksgiving dinner?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Ball gets tipped out of bounds. We're still looking at a 10-8 ball game, by the way. Nobody has scored here yet in the second quarter of play. And, Greg, we'll wait till we get to a break to talk to you about what you're going to be doing here at halftime. So until then, we'll kind of pick your brain here a little bit, obviously, about basketball in general. This is a gym you've played many games in, and a team I'm assuming you still know pretty well. Altenberger for 3. hits off the front of the iron. The Hawks now all of a sudden not able to buy a basket. Fortunately for them, West Seattle's kind of having the same experience right now. 5:42 to go. Nate Pryor with the ball. So some of the seniors on this team were freshmen when you were here.
Sophomores.
Oh, sophomores. I'm sorry.
Yep.
That's right. I keep thinking you and Lauren were seniors at the same time as the Fernandezes and the Armsteads and whatnot, but you weren't. So you do know these guys a little bit.
Yep.
What have you seen so far? I mean, I know you've been to a couple games this year already. Are you impressed with what you're seeing out of the Hawks this year? Anima floats up a shot out of bounds?
For sure. I was able to come to the practice last night and play with these guys a little bit. They have great energy, very coachable, always looking to get better, and they've done a great job defensively here so far. Like you said, they've kind of struggled to get it going offensively, but defensively, they're keeping themselves in this ballgame. They actually have the lead, so that's good to see.
Oh, there's Mussey down low. Nice job by Armstead to find him on the inbound. Shimron gets his first bucket of the game. 12-8 score as Joey Gardner gets ready to check back in. I've got to think there's some of these younger guys who you're seeing for the first time this year, right? Maybe not Kyrie. I have a feeling he might have been at practice a few times back when Marcus was playing.
Yep.
There's Trahan right there with the basketball. Kicks it out to number 5. That's one of the Mohammeds. That's Abdullahi, who gets his first point of the game. Now looking at a 12-10 game. Here come the Hawks on the other end. Mussey with the basket.
Great pass by Kyrie.
Wasting no time. And, the sophomore kind of getting it done here, isn't he? He's been playing defense this year.
Very well, yeah.
Passing. He had the winning shot against Edmonds Woodway.
I saw that, yeah.
Not bad at all. It's Muhammad with the basketball right now. Trahan's going to take a 3. Hits his second one of the night. Shaka Trahan now with 6 for the ball game. 14-13. Hawks with a very slim lead. And these two teams combining for a record of 13-2 on the year. Here comes Trahan getting a pass on the other end. They're going to call the charge. Gabe Powder.
Great take by Gabe.
That's something they work on here at Mount Lake Terrace, isn't it? You guys practice that, right? Powder done a great job there. That foul is going to be called on Trahan, his second. We get a couple different subs coming in for West Seattle right now. Tyler Lindsay checking into the game, as well as Carter Golgart. So Greg, second year at UW right now. Other than basketball, how are you enjoying the experience?
I'm enjoying it a lot. College is a lot different than high school, as you can probably know, anybody knows, but it's kind of hard with balancing it with classes sometimes. But I love going to class. I love learning. I'm trying to get a degree in business, so I've been working on that, taking some business classes and whatnot. But I've been enjoying it a lot.
Mussey with a hook shot, leaves it a little bit short. Golgart grabs it. Yeah, and for the student athlete in particular, I mean, you always think of academics being tough. I know, having gone to college myself without playing a sport there, you guys have to balance both. What has that been like? Has that been an easy transition for you?
It hasn't been as easy as I thought it was going to be, especially when we were traveling to China and the Bahamas for weeks on end. But I just got to try to keep up. When I'm not in class, obviously I got to read all my assignments and just keep up online. But I'm learning as I go how to balance it better.
Sure. We have a timeout here. We're going to keep it here so we can talk to Greg for a minute. And Greg, you mentioned to me right before we brought you on the air that you are going to be out here speaking on the floor at halftime, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you're speaking on behalf of MS.
Yes.
And now that's something that you've have some experience with in your own family, correct?
Yeah, obviously it's something very close to me. My mom, who was diagnosed in 2002, has MS, and it's something that my siblings and I have had to deal with over the last 10 years or so, just as it's progressed more. We've seen my mom go from a working woman who did everything for us to someone who's become dependent upon us to help her out. So I talked to Coach Stewart in the summer about something that I could possibly do to help raise awareness for MS, because I still feel like a lot of people don't really know about this disease and what it can do. So he came up with the idea. A lot of credit goes to Coach Stewart. I just had the idea, but he put this whole thing together with the table out there, collecting donations and handing out pamphlets, hoping to raise awareness. And that's really what I'm hoping to achieve here today. I'm going to talk at halftime a little about MS and what it can do, how it's affected my life. But hopefully I can just spread the word a little bit more and help people realize what this disease is, because it really is a terrible disease that can affect anyone.
Sure. And it's one of those things, I mean, it's not necessarily hereditary, right? It's anybody, anytime.
Anybody. My best friend, Matt, who's actually behind us right there, his cousin was just diagnosed with MS. He's only 19.
Yeah, so it doesn't really discriminate against age either for that matter.
Yeah, it's anybody.
Nate Pryor getting the basket to fall, his first field goal of the game. He now has 3 for the game. Gives West Seattle a 15-14 lead. And I'm going to put you on the spot here, so if you don't know this answer, this is on me for asking, but do you know the websites that folks can go to if they want to donate? And there's Altenberger for a 3, leaves it just a bit short as Goldgard grabs the rebound. Here comes West Seattle. We'll get that from you in just a second if you have it. Nate Pryor kicking it out to Trahan, fake to the 3. Joey Gardner doing a great job on defense. And, of course, as soon as I say that, he gets called for a foul, but a nice hustle by Gardner. How can folks, if they want to get involved with helping MS, do that?
I think I'm not completely sure on the website, but I think it's mssociety.com. And I'm sure there's some sort of link on the website where you can donate. And you can also, I think, talk to Coach Stewart. I think he has some more information on where to donate because we have the donation table set up outside.
Sure, and that's just for today's game and the game yesterday,
for
right?
this tournament, yeah.
Okay, so some of the folks who might be watching who, if they're coming to the Edmonds Woodway game, again, we're collecting donations out in the hallway. So Edmonds Woodway is going to play Snohomish later. Who knows, maybe both fan bases are watching right now. As Trahan puts up a 14-footer. Can't get that one to fall. Hawks getting the rebound, still looking for the lead. They trail 15-14. So folks can donate all throughout the night as long as we've got basketball going on, which is up until about 7 o'clock tonight. But we certainly encourage them to go to a website, and the nice thing about nowadays is we can Google things and find it. As Altenberger with a 3, just rims off, still looking for his first tray of the night, actually looking for his first points of the night. But, Greg, I think it's great that you're being an ambassador for the disease. Didn't see who made that shot. We got blocked by the referee. Was that Pryor? It was Nate Pryor making the shot, so he's got 5 now. But, yeah, certainly it's something to which I think it's great you're using your personal experiences and your own trials and tribulations with it to promote it and using this is a forum. So good for you for doing that, and certainly we respect the Malloy Terrace High School and the Hawks basketball team in particular for supporting that cause.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Stewart has done so much to help get this going, get the ball rolling on this whole MS awareness campaign, like I said. So I just want to give a huge thanks to Coach Stewart.
No, absolutely. Well, that's the great thing about sports, too. I think people sometimes think about what happens between the lines, but really, I mean, being able to use your stature as a basketball player now in college and being able to use this forum here and using the gym for that matter tonight, it's always nice to kind of have that platform and to be able to get the word out.
For sure.
1:14 to go here in the half. 17-14, Hawks trail by 3. Shimron Mussey with the ball, kicks it up to Altenberger. Thought about the 3. Nice job by Goldgard to put a hand in his face. 4 on the shot clock. The Hawks got to do something quick. Kyrie notices it, floats one up, leaves it short. 56 seconds to go. And Greg, I'll let you go because I know you got to get ready for the half. But thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me, Steve.
Absolutely, anytime. So Greg Bowman, Washington Husky basketball player and former Malloy Terrace Hawks. And we'll catch part of Greg's talk at halftime also. We'll put the camera on him when he's out there and get a little bit more information. But we certainly appreciate Greg for doing that. And like he said, something very near and dear to his heart and something that affects his family on a daily basis. 3 ball by Lindsay, misses it, scramble for it. Armstead comes away with it. 41 to go in the half, 7-second differential. Joey Gardner not going to waste any of that time, though. Puts a shot up, misses it. Altenberger goes up strong. This is the shot. Here comes Tyler Lindsay on the other end. Shot clock is now turned off. West Seattle with the 17-14 lead here. Low scoring first half. Shaka Trahan taking his time. Kicks it over to Yusuf Muhammad. We'll get you caught up on all the stats at halftime as well. Didn't want to interrupt Greg too much. We needed him to get that message out. It's just a little too important on a game like today and on a tournament like this. So we certainly wanted to give him that platform and thank him for coming on as Yusuf Muhammad gets fouled and is heading to the line for 2. Foul is on Joey Gardner. His second. And Muhammad, who has 2 points in the first half, makes it 3 as he hits the first free throw. One more free throw to go. Muhammad, through 6 games, was 12 for 15 at the free throw line. Misses the free throw, but gets his own rebound and gets the foul as he drives hard to the hoop. Nice job by Mohammed to notice that he had missed the shot, hustled in for the rebound. That was going to go for 2 more free throws. And gets a foul on Anima as well. That's his first. Daniel Johnson is going to check in with 6.9 seconds to go here in the half. 18-14, West Seattle on top of Mount Lake Terrace. Makes the first shot.
Daniel Johnson for Terrace.
6.9 seconds to go here in the half. Hits that one. 20-14. Hawks looking to cut that 6-point deficit. They got 3 seconds to go. Altenberger floats one and misses it. And we're going to get a blocking foul called against the Wildcats with 1 second showing on the clock. Fouls on number 5, Abdullahi Muhammad. Altenberger with 2 shots coming up. Misses the first one. Altenberger coming into this game shooting 10 for 13 from the free throw line. Makes the second, so 15-20. 1 second to go. Trahan gets off a shot, misses it, and we've come to the end of the first half with our score. The West Seattle Wildcats 20, the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks 15. We're going to take a break for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll get you caught up on the first half scoring. Also try to catch part of Greg Bowman out on the floor. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
If we could have everyone's attention. Got a special guest that we want to bring out here right now. For those of you who are from the Mount Lake Terrace area, if you're a parent or if you're a student here, I think you know who this is. And if you're not, we'd like you to listen anyway. This is Greg Bowman. He is a class of 2014 graduate here at Mount Lake Terrace High School. He's currently a basketball player at the University of Washington. Greg is being joined by his brother Peter right now. And they'd like to talk to you guys about something that's very near and dear to their hearts and seeing if maybe you guys can help them out in the process. So I'll turn it over to you, Greg.
All right, thank you, Steve. Like he said, I want to talk about something that's very close to me. Some of you probably noticed on the way in here there was an MS table set up right outside there. And just quite a quick show of hands, how many of you have heard of MS? Okay, so a good number of you. So what our goal here is today is to really raise awareness for MS because I feel like a lot of people really don't know what this disease is and what it can do. And like Steve said, it's something that's very close to me because my mom was diagnosed in 2002 with MS. She's right over there with my dad. And it's become difficult over the years because the disease has slowly progressed, and we've seen our mom go from a working woman who's done everything for us to someone who's become dependent for us to help her out. And so yeah, if you just want to donate out there by the table or spread the word, that would be great. And I think my brother wants to say a little something here.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what multiple sclerosis is, it's an autoimmune disease where your body's own immune system starts attacking your own body, It goes after the myelin that's a coating on your nervous system. So essentially your nervous system is breaking down slowly over time. And in my mother's case, our mother case, I should say, it's progressive, which means it's getting worse. There are some cases where it's kind of static over time. But in her case, it's progressing, and there's no known cure for it right now, but medical advances are working on that. And I think it's about 1 in every 700 people have a diagnosis, and it is worse in the Pacific Northwest. Something really close with multiple sclerosis is a lack of vitamin D in the body, and that's probably due to the lack of sunlight in the Pacific Northwest, as we're all familiar with around here. So I just wanted to add that on, and I'll hand it back to you, Greg.
Yeah, like Peter said, there's no known cure yet, but we're hoping that with increased donation, increased awareness, we can hopefully find a cure here in the next couple of years or as soon as possible. One other thing I want to add is MS can affect anyone. It doesn't matter age or gender. My best friend, his cousin just was diagnosed with MS, and he's 19. So it's really tough to see someone like that get diagnosed, but every case is different. Some are more progressive, like my mom's, and some people can live completely normal lives, unaffected. But we're just hoping with raised awareness, raised donations, we can help spread awareness for this disease, find a cure, and beat MS. Thank you.
So just one more reminder, if folks want to donate to MS, they can do so out on the tables out by the concession stands, and they will be out there collecting donations until the end of the basketball game. Actually, through the next basketball game as well. And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. This is the Action
We'll get you
Jackson
folks
Plumbing
updated on
halftime
some
show.
halftime statistics for
We don't
West
have
Seattle.
Any, statistics other than points, as we were not able to grab any of those on the way out, and we're operating with a smaller crew today, so I do have point totals for you. And we'll get those to you right now. West Seattle with 20 points in the first half. Nate Pryor, we mentioned earlier, he was averaging over 17 points per game. He only has 5 so far, so kind of a quiet game for him in terms of point totals. But we've also seen him warm up in second half, so stay tuned for him. Number 4, Shaka Trahan with 6 points. Number 5, Abdullahi Muhammad, the freshman, by the way, has 2 points. His brother Yusuf Muhammad has 5 points. And then Carter Golgart with 3 points in the first half. For the Hawks, only 15 points, so this shouldn't take long. Daniel Johnson, number 13, he has 2 points. Kyrie Armstead with 6 points in the first quarter, and that's where he is right now. Gabe Altenberger with 1 point. Derek Anima with 2, and Shimron Masih with 4. Again, this is a Hawks team where you have players like Derek Anima averaging 15 points per game on the season. He's 13 below his average already. Gabe Altenberger, the second leading scorer on the team with 11 points per game. He only has 1. And Shimron Masih, who averages 10 points per game, 10.1 to be precise, he has 4. So all 3 of your leading scorers are being held below their averages right now, and that is the difference in this ball game. 15-20, as we wait to see if we're going to have a little offensive explosion here in the second half of play. As we mentioned, West Seattle, a team that plays out of the always tough Metro Conference, coming to this game with a record of 8 wins and 0 losses. And their 8 wins are against tough teams. It's Kennedy Catholic, Roosevelt, Nathan Hale, Chief South, Lakeside, Ingram, Thomas Jefferson, and Marysville Pilchuck. So anytime you can win 8 games to start off a season with a schedule like that, never a bad way to go. And this is a team that's only going to have tougher games ahead of them. They play O'Day on January 5th. That's their next ball game, followed by Stadium, Cleveland, Bainbridge, Eastside Catholic, Rainier Beach, Garfield, and Franklin also down the stretch, not to mention Seattle Prep and Blanchette. So some very tough competition coming towards the way of the Wildcats as we head into the later part of the season. Mount Lake Terrace does have one common opponent with West Seattle this year so far. Hawks losing back on December 9th to Roosevelt. That was a 57-55 ball game, a game in which Gabe Altenberger had a look at a 3-point shot at the buzzer. Would have won the game, but Roosevelt did hold on to win by 2. West Seattle played Roosevelt 5 days earlier than that on December 4th, and they defeated Roosevelt 52-40. So take what you want from that. That's the one common opponent between these two teams. But as they say, you lace them up and you come out to play the game. You don't just look at common opponents and decide who's going to win a game. You settle it on the court, and that's what these two teams are doing right now. Again, the score 20-15 at the half. Just a couple minutes away from the third quarter of action. We're going to take a quick break right now. That is the Action Jackson Plumbing Halftime Report. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
And welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network. We are back for the third quarter of action. Missed shot by Tyler Lindsay to start the half for that matter. Gabe Altenberger looking to get going here a little bit. Kicks it over to Armstead. Armstead drives into the lane, gets tied up initially, kicks it out to Anima. Over to Gardner. Hawks slowing it down a bit right now. 14 to go on the shot clock. Anima for three. Hits it! Derek Anima with the tray. We're used to seeing Derek do a lot of damage down low. He shows that he can do it out on the perimeter as well. Cuts the deficit to 20-18. Anima coming into this game 1 for 8 from the three-point stripe this year, so give him 2 now on the year. Pryor misses the shot. However, Golgart there to clean it up for him. West Seattle picking up their first bucket of the second half. Makes it a 22-18 game now. Kyrie Armstead kicks it over to Joey Garner. He's going to set the offense up on top. Driving in. Garner putting up a shot but draws the foul. He's going to head to the line for 2. Foul is on number 24, Carter Golgart. His first. And this trip to the free throw line brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Community College. Joey Garner hitting the first of the 2 free throws. Garner 18 for 21 at the free throw line coming into this game. Of course, as soon as you say that, you jinx the guy and he misses one, so Garner going 1 for 2 there. Only his 4th miss of the season from the charity stripe. Nate Pryor, the Seattle U commit, kicking the ball over. That's number 32, Akili Kasim. Kasim kicks it over to Gogart. Gogart misses the shot. Hawks down by 3, looking to either cut the deficit to 1 or possibly tie the game up. Anima's going to put up a shot. Gets it blocked by Gogart. Nice job by Carter. Carter Gogart going up and getting that basketball. Gogart, one of the seniors on this team. Pryor pulls up from 12 feet, rims it in. Pryor with 7 points for the ballgame. 24-19 is the score right now. West Seattle employing the trap. Hawks able to get it over the 10-second line. Oop, Pryor got his hands on that one. However, Armstead was able to get it back. Armstead drives in and puts it up from 6 feet out, gets it to fall. He now has 8 for the ball game. 24-21. Pryor being guarded by Armstead. Kyrie, the sophomore, doing a nice job so far. Give a lot of credit to the perimeter players of the Hawks. Gardner and Armstead both playing phenomenal defense here so far this evening, keeping the powerful West Seattle offense in check for the most part, although they're still trailed by 3. Make that 6. My goodness. Shaka Trahan with his third 3 of the game. Fired one up earlier from NBA range. That one was even further back than that. He was a good 6 feet behind the line. Nothing but net. Shaka now with 9 points for the evening. I guess we'll call it late afternoon. 27-21. Derek Anima driving in, kicks it out to Altenberger. Altenberger for 3, rims it in and out. Pryor coming down with a rebound. I should mention Pryor's the number 2 rebounder on this West Seattle team too. A guy who primarily plays point guard. Also pulls down over 5.5 boards a game. So West Seattle with their largest lead of the day. Looking for more right now. 4:15 to go here in the third quarter. Carter Golgart gets the ball, lays it off the backboard and in. Golgart now 4 in the half, 6 for the ball game. He's another one that's capable of scoring at any time. Anima initially losing the basketball, saves it, kicks it back out to Gardner. Altenberger drives into the lane, kicks it down to Anima. Anima doing a nice fake move with his head. Gets the defender up in the air, then he lays it up and in. And we get a timeout called, I believe it was by Mount Lake Terrace. 30-second, we'll take a quick break. It's 29-23 Wildcats. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
30-second timeout.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Steve Willits from Mount Lake Terrace High School bringing you the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks versus the West Seattle Wildcats. If you're just tuning in, this is a West Seattle team that is 8-0 on the year. Mount Lake Terrace is 5-2. As Carter Golgart floats up a 12-foot shot, hits off the back iron, then bounces to the front. I think that second bounce off the rim kind of threw Yusuf Muhammad off just a bit. He leaned in and went over the back of one of the Hawk players, picks up his second foul. Second team foul against the Wildcats here in the second half. Hawks down by 6. Going to stay in this ball game. Altenberger for 3, misses yet another one. Nice job by Trahan to save it from going out of bounds. West Seattle bringing it up again. Altenberger getting some good looks. They're just not falling for him tonight. If any three-point shooters know, that's often the case. Altenberger for the year came into this game shooting 37% from behind the line. As Gogart gets that one to drop. He now has 8 for the game, 6 in the half. And we know Altenberger can get hot at times from that three-point line. As Tarek Anima says, I'll just drain one from 14 feet out, and does. He has 7 points for the quarter. Give him 9 for the game now. Watched Altenberger hit, I think it was 8 3-pointers against Glacier Peak 2 years ago in a game. So he's definitely a player, even if he's not getting them to fall. You want him to keep shooting those baskets. Pryor drives toward the hoop. Gets his shot blocked, but does draw the foul. Going to call that one on Kyrie Armstead. Armstead picking up his second foul. So Pryor, who's 1 for 2 from the line today, heads back right now. As we mentioned, 65% free throw shooter. And this is the front end. Daniel Johnson checking back into the game for the Hawks as Joey Gardner takes a seat on the bench. Got another substitution is Abdullahi Muhammad, the freshman, checking back in for West Seattle. Pryor ready for the second shot. Gets that one to fall. 32-25. 2:22 to go here, third quarter of the Mountlake Terrace Holiday Tournament. Just mentioned this isn't a true bracket tournament in the sense that there's not a championship game. This is the final game of the tournament for both of these two teams. We do have a little bit of an extended tournament this year since the Canyon Springs team canceled on the Hawks for yesterday's game. Marysville Pilchuck was gracious enough to agree to move the game for the second game of the tournament as that ball goes out of bounds. So the Mountlake Terrace Hawks and the Marysville Pilchuck Tomahawks will play here at Mountlake Terrace High School at 2 p.m. on Saturday. A little afternoon basketball for you. That game will not be broadcast on the Sound Live Sports Network, so if you'd like to see that game, you need to do it in person. Derek Anima gets the basket and draws the foul. Great job by Armstead for the second time in the game to inbound to a cutting player towards the basket. In this case, I don't even know if Derek was cutting. I think he just put on a little bit of a head fake on one of the West Seattle players and got open, and Kyrie saw it perfectly. Dishes him the basket. He gets the layup and draws the foul. And this trip to the free throw line also brought to you by our friends over at Edmonds Community College. Anima now with 10 points here in the third quarter alone. 32-28. And there's a three ball from Nate Pryor. He misses the shot. Hawks looking to come down to the other end. And the little reset of the shot clock taking place right now, so they stop the action momentarily to get that fixed. Pryor, a player who does most of his damage from inside the arc, not a big three-point shooter per se. Didn't get that one to fall either. Still resetting the clock right now. Finally got that resolved. Should mention some of the games that have also taken place during this tournament. Yesterday it was Edmonds Woodway over Battleground 78-56. Snohomish defeating Linwood 52-48. And then in the final game of the day was West Seattle, this very Wildcat team we're watching right now. They defeated Marysville Pilchuck 60-43. And then earlier today, Battleground defeated Linwood 62-44. Kyrie Armstead thought about the three, fakes it, kicks it over to Johnson. He's going to take a tray, just misses it. Anima goes up for the rebound, gets blocked from behind. Goldgart stuffs that one out of bounds. Hawks will maintain possession. They did get an initial reset of the 35 when Anima got the rebound, so there's still 32 on the clock. Anima gets the ball over on the left side, kicks it to Armstead in the corner. Armstead kicks it back on top. 1:12 to go in the third quarter, 28 on the shot clock. 32-28. Carson Dallas down low. Tries to kick it out to Johnson, throws it right to Trahan. Trahan looking to go coast to coast, gets the shot partially blocked. Armstead with a nice hand up in his face, forces the miss. Here comes Derek Anima, 1-on-3. He's going to go up anyway. Nice block by Gogart. They're going to say he drew body, though. Late whistle, and the Wildcat fans are not happy about that at all. Not calling the foul on Gogart. They actually called it on number 20, Gabe Gagnon. I think that's the right call. It looked as though Gogart had it clean. I'm not sure that Gagnon did, and that's going to put Anima at the line for two. He connects on the first one. This trip to the free throw line brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Community College. Anima getting the second one to fall also, as the Hawks have now got this game within 2. We're having a little bit of a shot clock issue, so we're taking a referee timeout right now as they're over at the scores table. Gabe Powder checking in for Kyrie Armstead. 51.1 seconds to go here in the quarter. 32-30. We've got a really good basketball game going here, folks. You don't want to go anywhere. Hawks trailed by 8 just a few minutes ago, and they've since cut that lead down to 2. Pryor misses the shot. Everybody's scrambling for it. Finally, Carter Gogart coming up with it. Shot clock and the game clock are now 2 seconds apart. It's Nate Pryor with the basketball over on the left wing. Not sure if West Seattle's going to try to play for a late shot here. Would make a lot of sense if they did. Wouldn't give the Hawks another chance to score here in the quarter. Pryor looking to get an isolation on Powder. Finally kicks it over to Trahan. Gogart over on the right wing. Fakes Dallas up into the air. Underhand shot. Misses it. 5 seconds to go on the game clock. Anima better do something quickly. Johnson's got the ball. 2 seconds. 1. Johnson fires it but leaves it short, and we've come to the end of the third quarter. A quarter that saw the Hawks score 15 points and get back in this game. It is 32-30 in favor of West Seattle. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. 8 minutes of play left in the regulation. I almost said in the game, but the way this one's going, we might have extras. The Hawks continuing to trail the Wildcats, although right now it's only a 2-point deficit. And they're looking to either tie or take the lead right now. Gabe Altenberger kicks it back out to Shimron Mussey. Mussey over to Anima. Thought about taking the 3. Tried to pass over to Powder, and Nate Pryor picks it off. Reverse layup, misses the shot. Big scramble for it. Gogart gets it, kicks it back down to Pryor. Pryor lays it up and in. Number 1 is a player you always have to have your eye on when he's on the court. Anima making a pass over to Gabe Powder that he probably can complete 99 times out of 100. However, this time he's playing one of the better guards that we're going to see here on the floor all season long. Pryor picked it and made something happen with it. 7:07 to go here in regulation. Shimron Mussey. Nice shot, 17-footer. Drains that one. He now has 6 for the ball game. 34-32 is our score right now. Trahan, Pryor, Gogart, Abdullahi Muhammad, and Akili Kasim is on the court right now. And we want to say a nice hello to Marvin Kasim, Akili's father, who's watching the game online. We appreciate him for tuning in. I'm sure he's enjoying what he's seeing so far. Probably didn't enjoy that, though, as the Hawks are able to get the basketball back. Nice job down low as Altenberger with a nice pass to Massey. He misses the shot, but draws the foul, and he's going to head to the line shooting 2. Shimron coming into this game shooting 14 for 16 from the free throw line this year. Averages out to 88%. Hits the first one. And this is a Mountain Lake Terrace Hawks team that's shooting very well from the free throw line. Through the first 7 games, Anima 77%, Altenberger 77%, Massey 88%, Armstead 79%, Joey Gardner 86%. This is a team that late in the game, if you need the ball back and you need to start fouling, you kind of have to pick your poison with those guys. They can hit them. And Shimron ties the game with his second free throw. Give him 8 for the ball game right now. 34-34 score. It's all knotted up here with 6:11 to go. Here goes Pryor. Kicks it out to Kasim. Hits it. I think Marvin likes that one if he's watching at home. Kasim with his first bucket of the game. It's the reverse jinx there. As soon as we give a shout out to his father for watching, he scores his first bucket. Down low, the Hawks looking to get back into this one, and there it is, Derek Anima. Initially, I got blocked out by the referee, but it was Derek that made the bucket. Nice pass by Altenberger, ties it back up, 36-36. 5:39 to go in regulation, and Gabe Powder all over Shaka Trahan right now. Kefri Fazio not happy about something. He calls a 30-second timeout. 5:34 to go here in the game. Knotted up 36 apiece. We'll keep it right here since it's a short timeout. 22 seconds to go on the shot clock, and this one is going to come right down to the wire. We mentioned earlier West Seattle with a record of 8-0 on the year, and just looking over their scores, they have played some tight games already. They've defeated Kennedy Catholic by 4, defeated Chief South by 2, and really other than that, all the other games have been double-digit deficits, or double-digit wins, I should say. 12-point win over Roosevelt, a 22-point win over Nathan Hale, 20-point win over Lakeside, beat Ingram by 16. They beat Thomas Jefferson by 34. So a team that maybe doesn't have a lot of experience playing these close games. Again, the Hawks, they've played a few themselves this year. Edmonds Woodway, the last game they played here, was a game in which they won on a Kyrie Armstead bucket with 4 seconds to go. That was a 74-72 victory. Much lower score today, however, as West Seattle and Mount Lake Terrace continue to do battle here. There goes Nate Pryor. Left-handed layup gets it to fall. Unofficially, we have Pryor with 12 points now for the game at 38-36. See if the Hawks can answer again. So far this quarter, every time West Seattle has scored, the Hawks have come back down and gotten one themselves, and there they go again. Shimron Mussey with the basket. 6 of his 10 here in the quarter. 38-38 as we're now under 5 minutes to play. Gabe Powder doing a nice job on Trahan. There goes Pryor again behind the back. Kasim up on top. 17 on the shot clock. Gabe Powder all over Trahan right now. We're down to 9 on the shot clock. 4:36 on the game clock. Nice job by Powder, and gets Trahan to throw the ball out of bounds. Gabe Powder all fired up. Lets Trahan know about it. He was getting right up in his grill, both with the ball and without it. And Gabe bringing his A game today. He has done an excellent job on the defensive side of things. You look at the box score right now, you don't see any points, but he has certainly done a nice job to prevent West Seattle from scoring a number of buckets on the defensive side of things. Altenberger looking to find Shimron. He does. Kicks it back to Powder. Powder with 12 to go on the shot clock. 4:06 to go in the game. Derek Anima floats one up, leaves it short, gets his own rebound, just struggle for it. They're going to say Anima touched it last. I think he was too happy about that. He was trying to pull the ball away from a West Seattle hand. And one of the Wildcats got their hand on the ball, and I think Anima thought that he flung it out of bounds. He being one of the defenders. The referees did not see it that way. Here comes Golgart. Golgart drives the lane, gets Powder to move. Powder was trying to take the charge, but he shuffled the feet just a bit. It's going to send Golgart to the line for 2.
The first foul of the game, Powder.
Powder picking up his first foul of the game. 3:52 left in regulation. Carter Gogart misses the first shot.
Carter Bogart at the line.
Gogart 0 for 2 from the line today. Has a chance to give the Wildcats the lead if he can make this one. Misses the second one as well, and for the second time in this half, West Seattle missing a free throw and getting the offensive board. Wait to see what the call is here. And they are, in fact, going to call it a travel. Kasim coming up with the basketball. Was trying to pull it away from one of the Hawks, and in doing so, I think he shuffled his feet there a little bit, and the referees called it. Hawks looking to take the lead for the first time this half. Daniel Johnson for the long two. Swish! Johnson gives the Hawks the lead. 3:35 to go in the game. 40-38, Terrace. Terrace has trailed by as many as 8 in this half. 29-21 deficit at one point. And now they're up 40-38. Nate Pryor with the basketball. Pryor's going to float one up from 11 feet out. Hits off the rim, bounces off. Pryor goes up for the rebound, gets his hand on it, but cannot come down with it. It goes out of bounds, and it is turned over to the Hawks. 3:16 showing on this clock right now. Daniel Johnson, the junior, is going to dribble it up. Being guarded by Tyler Lindsay. Hawks trying to give West Seattle their first loss of the season. There's Derek Anima in the key. Anima ducks underneath a defender, lays it up and in. Anima has been huge this half so far. 16 points in the second half alone. 42-38, the Hawks with a 4-point lead. Their largest lead since having a 6-2 lead back in the first quarter of play. 2:38 to go here in the ballgame. Tyler Lindsay, we know he can shoot the three. He leads the Wildcats in three-point shots. He's a player you really have to watch at this point in the game. Nice job by Pryor. Kicks it down to Gogart. Gogart goes up and draws the foul. Pryor with an excellent dump pass into the lane, into the key. With 2:21 to go, Carter Gogart's going to step to the line shooting two. Powder gets called for the foul. Gogart hits the first one. Gogart unofficially 1 for 4 for the game from the free throw line. Gogart, through the first 6 games of the season, was 12 for 20 from the free throw line. One more shot as Shimron Mussey comes back into the game. Is about to check in next dead ball, and there he has it. Gogart hitting both of the free throws, making it a 42-40 game. And here come the Hawks. Gabe Powder dribbling it up the floor. Derek Anima, Daniel Johnson, Gabe Altenberger, and Shimron Mussey on the floor with him. Hawks swinging it around. Powder draws a couple of defenders in. Mussey in the corner. Fakes a defender up into the air, drives the hoop, and it draws contact with 2:04 to go on the clock. Foul is on number 24, Golgart. His second. It is a shooting foul, so Mussey steps back to the line. Shooting two, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Community College. Mussey drains another one. He now has 7 points in the quarter. 11 for the game. Stay tuned for our Adrenaline fundraising player of the game afterwards, as we'll interview one of the Hawks and get their take on this game, or we'll interview one of the Wildcats for that matter too. Whoever wins this game is what we've decided to do tonight. So 2:03 left in the game. The Hawks with a 4-point lead. Shimron Mussey heads back to the bench after hitting the free throw. Nate Pryor with the basketball. Drives to the left side, and Pryor is special. Can't get that shot to fall. Pryor finally getting back up, but he is an impressive player to watch. And again, as we mentioned before, got a Division I scholarship waiting for him at Seattle U when he's done here at West Seattle. And Pryor in the lane, floats one up, leaves it just a bit short, scramble for the ball. Pryor and Powder both going after it, tie each other up. It looks as though West Seattle has the arrow, so they will keep the possession with 1:36 to go in the game. As I mentioned, this is a West Seattle team with only 2 seniors playing on the varsity team, Carter Golgart and Shaka Trahan. We do get a full timeout. 1:36 left. It's only a 4-point game, folks. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Hawks with a 44-40 lead over West Seattle. West Seattle inbounding the basketball. 32 left on the shot clock, 1:36 on the game clock. If you're just tuning in, West Seattle had a 5-point halftime lead. The lead has been as large as 8 in this half. And then the Hawks came storming back, took a 4-point lead, and that's where we stand right now. Pryor missing another shot. Here it comes. Derek Anima grabs the rebound, kicks it out to Powder. Powder thought about it, pulls up. Massey kicks it over to Altenberger in the corner. 1:12 to go here in the game. 22 left on the shot clock. Hawks with a 4-point lead. A basket here would go a long way towards a Hawk victory. Now down to 102. Altenberger drives the lane, kicks it out to Johnson. 11 to go on the shot clock. Derek Anima floats one up, misses it, but Massey tips it in! Offensive rebound, Shimron. Basket for the Hawks, their largest lead of the night. 46-40 with under a minute to go. Long three by Muhammad, misses it. Gabe Powder coming up with a rebound. We're down to 40 to go. Hawks looking for the upset, and he draws the foul. Shimron Mussey with 10 points this quarter, 14 for the game. Between Mussey and Anima. Anima has 16 for the half, so between them they have 26 points for the Hawks here. 26 of their 31 points for the half. Powder to the line, shooting 1-1. That's the 7th foul against West Seattle. This trip to the line sponsored by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Community College. Powder misses it. West Seattle down by 6, 35 seconds to go. Shaka Trahan kicks it out to Lindsay. There's their three-point shooter. He misses it. Everybody going up for it. I think Mussey might have drawn a foul against one of the West Seattle players. Goes up for the board and had one of them come over his back. Shimron Mussey, 4 for 4 from the line this quarter. Mentioned he's only missed 2 free throws all season long. 18 for 20 on the years. He looks to go 19 for 21 and does, hits it. Mussey now with 11 points in the quarter. 15 for the ball game. 47-40, Hawks coming storming back. Trailed 32-30 heading into this quarter. Hits the second one as well, and Coach Nayland Sood wants to take a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. It is a 48-40 Hawks lead over West Seattle with 27 seconds left in the ball game. So again, as we mentioned, Hawks trailed 29-21 at one point. Doing a little quick math, they are on a 27-11 run since that time. And they are 27 seconds away from knocking off one of the top-ranked teams in the state. In one, I guess one of the newspapers, I didn't see which one it was. It might have been the Seattle Times, did come out with a top 10 poll this week. And somebody mentioned to me before the game, West Seattle was ranked number 6 in the state in one of the polls. We know the Associated Press have not released a poll yet this season. I believe they will be releasing their first one next week. Not sure what this does to West Seattle's chances of staying up in that poll, but perhaps it puts Mount Lake Terrace in the running as well. There's a Gogart long shot. Gets it to fall. It is a 3. He was right near the line. And immediately, Kefri Fazio calls a timeout with 21.2 to go. Let's just see what they're going to call here. And they're going to call a 30, so we'll keep it right here. 48-43 after the Gogart 3. Carter Gogart having a nice half. He had 6 in the third quarter, 5 here in the fourth. Gives him 13 for the game. And Gogart, who after 6 games averaged 9 points per game, playing above his average right now. And Pryor averaging over 17 points per game. Lindsay was their second leading scorer through the first 6 games. He was averaging 9.3. Lindsay, who had 13 points in yesterday's game against Pilchuck, 12 of which happened in the third quarter, all on three-pointers. He's been held scoreless here so far tonight. Hawks with a 5-point lead, need to get the ball in. Daniel Johnson takes it and gets fouled from behind. Tyler Lindsay picking up the foul. We are not in the double bonus yet for the Hawks, so Johnson will be shooting a 1-and-1. That's the 9th team foul, which means the Hawks will be in double bonus for the rest of the game and will be shooting 2 free throws for every foul moving forward as Yusuf Muhammad checks back into the game. So again, a 1-and-1 situation for Johnson, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Community College. Johnson 3 for 6 for the year from the free throw line. Make it 4 for 7. Scores his 5th point of the game, 49-43. Misses the second shot. Unofficially, I have the Hawks for 11 for 13 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter alone. Doing a nice job of trying to ice it. There's a Lindsay 3. Misses it off the front iron. Shimron Massey goes up for it. Doesn't get it, but Anima does. Huge rebound for the Hawks as there's now 8 seconds to go in the game. Hawks by 6. Gogurt picking up his 3rd foul. That is the 10th team foul. So Derek Anima will head to the line shooting 2. Again, stick around after the game. We'll have our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game award. Nima misses the first shot. Misses the second as well. Again, a player who doesn't miss very many free throws. 6-point Hawks lead. Trahan gets up a shot. Leaves it a bit short. He's going to fire up another 3. Buzzer goes off. The game is over, and the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks give the Wildcats of West Seattle their first loss of the season, 49-43. Hawks bring their record to 6-2 on the year. And in just a moment here, we'll get a player of the game interview. So Hawks shaking hands right now with the Wildcats. We're going to take a 30-second break. When we come back, we'll have our player of the game interview. You're watching this Sound Alive Sports Network. There we go. I think we're back now. There we go. Welcome back to the Sound Live Sports Network. Steve Willits along with our Adrenaline Fundraising Player of the Game, and we'll do this right off the bat, Shimron. So we're going to get a picture of you here holding this up. Look over at Teresa Whipple there. Shimron Massey, our Player of the Game. Get one more there for you. And I'm going to let you keep that shirt. Congratulations on that, and more importantly, congratulations on this victory. This is a West Seattle team that was undefeated coming into this game. You guys fell behind by 8 points in the third quarter. What was the mentality like at that point?
We took a timeout, and Coach said, we just got to keep fighting. They're a good team. They're from the Seattle Metro League, and we just had to keep fighting. We pushed through. And got the victory. You guys play a lot of up-tempo basketball. We've seen a lot of scores in the 60s and 70s. Was it the game plan to come in here tonight and to kind of hold these guys to a minimum of points, or? That we try to do that. We set a goal each game, holding a team to only 52 points, and I think we did that. What did they have?
49-43 was the final, so you did it.
Yeah, that's one of our goals.
Now, one of the other things you've done very well this year, and you continue to do it here, was free throw shooting. It's something that I think gets overlooked sometimes in the game of basketball, but it's it's vital, it's important. And you've only missed 2 free throws on the entire season. Is that something you pride yourself on? Do you work on that a lot at practice and at home? Or
absolutely. We do it so much in practice. At the end of every practice, coach has us shoot 25 free throws, 30 free throws. And, especially as a low post guy, you're going to get fouled a lot. And, that's just easy money right there.
And fourth quarter in particular. And that's a time when, even though some of the best free throw shooters can have high percentages, often when it's a close game, late in the game, you see guys choke down the stretch. Mm-hmm. You were 6 for 6 from the free throw line. I mean, any nerves out there in the fourth quarter knowing that the game's on the line and you're shooting free throws, or is it just same old, same old?
I think it's just same old, same old. We do it every day in practice, and, it's nothing different. Just a different situation, but you still got to knock it down.
Sure. And now this is a game that doesn't count in the standings, but you guys go to 6-2. I've got to think beating a team like West Seattle gives you guys a lot of confidence going into Wesco.
I mean, yeah, I guess a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, it's a tough conference, right?
Yeah, it's a tough conference.
You know what you got coming up. Are you guys excited to get the conference action going? I mean,
absolutely. We've waited long enough, and this break. We haven't played games for 13 days, and we finally got one today, and we're excited for Marysville on Saturday and Peak on Tuesday.
There we go. Do you remember how many games you guys won last year?
Yeah, I remember.
How many was it? It was 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how many have you won this year so far?
6.
There we go. So they've already matched last year's win total, and you're just going to keep rolling.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly. That's a goal.
You're off to a hard start.
Congratulations,
and go enjoy this with your teammates, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good day.
All right, thanks. You too. So Shimron Mussey with the Player of the Game award right there again. 12 points in the fourth quarter alone. He ends up with 16 for the game, 49-43. Hawks go to 6-2 on the year, and they give the West Seattle Wildcats their first loss of the season. Wildcats go to 8-1 on the season, and what more can you say? So the Hawks doing work out here and getting it done. As we mentioned, we will not be broadcasting the next game, but Mount Lake Terrace will be playing Marysville Pilchuck right here in the Terraceum Saturday, 2 p.m. Come on out to the game, support the Hawks as again they're off to a hot start, and this is the kind of basketball we've become accustomed to watching here at the Terraceum. Last year's season is a thing of the past, and these guys just keep plugging away, and they just keep getting better. So, again, we thank you for watching. We're going to take a break right now and go off the air. We'll come back on at 5 o'clock for the Edmonds-Woodway Snohomish game, but we're going to sign off for now. Your final score, once again, here at the Terraceum, the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks, 49, the West Seattle Wildcats, 43. Hawks win, and you've been watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.